Hello class! Welcome to this video where I will explain how the present perfect tense works. When is it used? It's used when the action has not yet finished. It's still going on, or there's some results that are still going on. For example, I have played piano for 2 years. I have played means I started playing, but it's still going on. I still play the piano. This is why I have to use the present perfect tense, because it still has something to do with the present, even though I started it in the past. How is it formed? It's formed by have or has plus the participle. This means, in an example, I have waited. Waited is a participle. Or you have played. He has written. She has eaten. It has rained. We have practiced. You have cooked. And they have visited. How does the question work? They have done their homework. If it's a question, you have to invert. Instead of they have they done their homework? The negative, they have done their homework. They have not done their homework. You have to use the helping word not together with have or has. Situation with the word for. They have lived in Austria for 10 years. This is a time period. For 10 years, it's long. Situation with for, example, 4 years, 2 months, for a week, for 2 minutes. What about the word since? They have not eaten since this morning. This is a point in time. It's not a long time period. It's a point in time, since this morning. For example, since Christmas, since 2015, since I was 7, or since I was a baby. I hope you have understood how the present perfect tense works.
Past perfect progressive. Past perfect progressive describes the action that had been happening for some time in the past, before something else happened in the past. For example, they had been negotiating for 5 hours. The phone ring interrupted the discussion. It means that they had been doing something for some period of time, for example, for 5 hours, in the past, before something else happened, for example, before the phone rang in the past. So we get perfect progressive in the past. They had been negotiating for 5 hours. Let's take a look at the formula of the verb in this tense. So there is had, or d, the short version is, plus been, and the main verb with the ending ing. All of these words, had, been, the verb with the ending ing, are not changed. Here is the example. We had been examining the terms when he entered the room. The negative form is had not, or hadn't, plus been, plus the main verb with the ending ing. For instance, I had not been examining the terms when he entered, or I hadn't been examining the terms when he entered. As for the questions or the interrogative form, the word order is as follows. We use had at the beginning of the sentence, then goes subject, then been, plus the verb with the ending in, and after that goes all the rest. Let's have a look at the example. Had you been examining the terms when he entered? There are also some focus words normally used in past perfect progressive. These are since, for, lately, recently, all day, all month, etc. There also may be used a question, how long? And also there are other tense indicators which help to see that we should use past perfect progressive. For example, the sentence may start with when somebody called, and the second part of this sentence may be used with past perfect progressive, or vice versa. The first part of the sentence may be used with past perfect progressive, whereas the second part of the sentence is followed by when somebody called. Here are some other examples for you to see that we should use past perfect progressive. A. I had been having a lot of trouble with this equipment. I called for service department. The second sentence, I called for service department, helps us to see that in the past there had been problems with the equipment for some time. B. He asked me about how long Mary had been looking for some exhibition grounds. The adding he asked specifies the past tense, and how long accentuates that Mary has been doing it for some time. C. They had been driving for 2 days before it happened. Before it happened helps us to identify that they should be used past perfect progressive.